What's up? This is the most unusual watch list. Number 12. What day is it tomorrow? This is for 12/15. Damn, this year's almost done. All right. So basically, we look around, we scour, we try to find the most unusual options, activity, unusual whales, and we show you how to play it on the chart. So first up, this has actually caught my eye for a couple days in a row. We have DraftKings. So you see some put volume coming in here, right? The 121.30, 12/17/28. Not too concerned about that on such a bad day for stocks overall. I mean, everything just got pounded. But what I am interested in is these two calls right here, the 12/17/30 and the 12/17/29. Sitting there with a 2 volume to open interest ratio and about a 2.5 volume inch SOFR ratio. So nothing too crazy, but still something we want to look at. They're outside the money, and the fact that I've been saying them for a couple days in a row. So when I go to the 12/17, I look at the 29. I see that it's had kind of a crazy history, right? If you see over at the puts, put volume was 9,448 yesterday, probably leading into today. But then you notice, so if the open interest went up here, but it wasn't as high as you might think for that kind of volume. And you see the volume drop today. Whereas I go and I look over here, I see that high volume to open interest ratio yesterday. I see the high volume open interest volume to open interest ratio today. I take a look at the 30, just kind of poke myself around. You see that 2 there today. You see it dropping here today. So that is peculiar enough to warrant a look. I go to Thinkorswim over here, and I take a look really quickly. Let's see. So here's what's interesting about playing DraftKings tomorrow, if you're going to play it tomorrow. Hold on a second, let me get this right. I am going to try to thread the needle on this a little bit, I guess. I'm just going to move this line just a little bit down there. So theoretically, the way that I would play this is that I would particularly wait for an opportunity somewhere up here. If I get this big long candle or something like that. But there's a lot of room in here if you take it. You got a clear shot from 27.88 up to and around, it looks like about not the high, they're pretty high up there, 28.18. Again, on a stock like this, you're looking at 1+% on the underlying. If you could take out this level here, which is always a big if, but that's how we played MGM today. Just keeping an eye on that level, seeing if we can take it out. Then you got a nice smooth ride here up to approaching 28.50. So that might be one I'm willing to thread the needle on. The second play, this is probably the one I like the most for tomorrow. Microsoft, they've just been hitting it all week. Look at this today. So the 12/17, they're all 12/17. So people really want this near-term action. 12/17, higher volume and open interest. Look at the 330. 27,000 to 7,800. Then we see it again, the 335 also picking up volume. The 350 doesn't quite beat it. And then the 345 also even there. So I immediately want to go to the historical flow on this. 335 looks good. Look at the volume. All came in today on such a shit day. Volume dropped here from yesterday to today. We see the same thing. Let's go to 340. This is a good moment while I look for this to tell you this is sponsored by the Yeet. The Yeet.substack.com. We explained how to do all this. THEYEET.substack.com. Sign up. So here we see volume higher on the 340. We see that volume also picked up. So people keep betting into Microsoft. And for me, that's kind of enough to take a really close look at it. And then when I take a look at it, ignore all those ugly numbers underneath there. So we see here, and it crosses at 330. Got a smooth ride there up to 335. That's a few points. That's a good amount of profit. So Microsoft is heavy on my list tomorrow. Next up, interesting because Uber killed it today. I promise that's not why I took a look at it, but Lyft looks really good. So we see some volume coming in on the puts. I'm not going to ignore that, but nothing too crazy. But then when we get to these, what I'm curious about here is the 1231.44 call. 1231.44 call. That's huge volume and open interest. Something I want to keep an eye on. I might just buy those and sit tight, honestly, to just kind of mirror what the whale is doing. You see here, no one's on it, right? So that's something that you buy, you sit on. Basically, to me, monthlies are like leaps at this point, but you're looking a few weeks out, but it's not that far. This is 2 weeks out now. It's crazy to think about. So we look at the chart here for Lyft. Again, kind of threading the needle, but I like Lyft here. If you can get above 39.91, take out 34, or take out 40, then you got 40.37. You got 40.9 for target. So you got a pretty clean ride up. This level is crucial, though. That's why I have it looked up. Next, I'll talk about cost. Everyone's old favorite. So this one, costs a little bit, but no, that was not a intended pun. But sorry, of course, now my internet's going super duper slow. Let's see if we can do this one more time. Yeah. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to the cost historical flows. If my internet lets me, which it will not, apparently. So I'm going to skip cost for a minute. I'm going to go to the next one, CP&G, see if that clears itself up. So CP&G is interesting, Kupang, because look at this volume open interest on 28 call. Like almost 14,000 to 754. So people were liking it today. The 30 also got heavy volume. 26.5p. Don't want to ignore that. They got some pretty heavy volume too. But again, today was a shit show. So these three, particularly 1217, 1217, and 1223, really far outside the money. Want to go ahead and take a look at those. That 1217. 7.5 really got my attention here. What was that again? The 1223.30. So I just want to make sure that that's new activity. But this isn't like a carryover from some huge volume yesterday. And you look and see there's like no volume and interest on the puts. Well, that volume came in today. So something's going on there. I want to take a quick look at the chart, see what we see. All right, cool. Thank God my internet decided to work there. So at this point, this feels conspiratorial, like why nothing is working. All right. So I'm just going based on like the high of day with this one, high of week. We've got a lot of shitty price action here that we have to go through. This one is, the technicals are technically there, no pun intended, but be aware that this is here. So this is pretty much a fade play based on that flow that we saw. So honestly, something like the 1231 to 12, I think it was 27, I can't remember the exact date, that we saw there. Might be something to go with because a weekly here is a really, really rough and risky option. But then if you have the patience, then you go wait till it crosses there at a 28.5, let's call it just for the sake of this. Then you could have a nice ride up. I'm going to go back to cost and see if it actually decided to load. Hey, there we go. Okay, so for cost, the puts, the 1217, 535 got heavy action, but that's because it crossed there into the money. The 560, the 570, the 550, all 1217, all higher volume than open interest. This had exactly the same, which is interesting. 1217 put 540, got a little more activity. What I'm focused on is this in here, but also want to watch out for this in here. But again, this came during a slide, so I wouldn't give it too much attention. We look at the cost chart here. All right, cost is playing ball, thank God. So this actually is just, of course, so this actually just is a great tactical play too. If you're able to get out of here at 547.38, You take that to 555 for your first level, 557 for your second level. So those are the most unusual plays for today's edition. We got Microsoft, DraftKings, Lyft, Coupang, and Costco. All right, guys, good luck.